Hello everybody. Welcome to Jamil Lafif Luxury Channel. Today, we are going to go over the top 10 most expensive mistakes of all time. Mistakes are a part of human life. Every human makes mistakes in his life and learns from those mistakes and moves ahead. Humans are also said to be the statue of mistakes. But if we make mistakes related to money, then it is not so easy to recover. We have discussed some of the expensive mistakes made by humans and wasted millions of dollars for every mistake. Let's start at the bottom of the list. 10. Millennium Bridge. Cost $6.3 million. Before it was unveiled to the public, the Millennium Bridge across the River Thames in London was hailed as a pure expression of engineering structure and an absolute statement of our capabilities at the beginning of the 21st century. Unfortunately for the people behind the project, the Millennium Bridge got off to a shaky start. When the bridge opened in 2000, the first pedestrians to cross felt it swaying beneath their feet. Engineers had designed the bridge to withstand wind and weight, but not the simple motion of a crowd of humans walking across. The mistake took $6.3 million and 2 years to fix. 9. The Heavy Submarine. Cost $11.4 million. In 2013, the Isaac Peral was set to be the first in a new class of diesel-electric submarines when the discovery of an expensive mistake led to a big setback. It turned out that the submarine was 70 tons overweight because an engineer had put a decimal point in the wrong place early in the planning process. To offset the weight of the enormous submarine, engineers were forced to make it even longer. By adding about 6 meters of length to the sub's hull, they were able to make it more buoyant. Unfortunately, the mistake still cost them $11.4 million. 8. Lost Bitcoin. Cost $127 million. James Howells is a British IT worker who made a mistake that cost him over $100 million. In 2009, Howells began using his personal laptop to mine the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Although his laptop eventually stopped working, he held on to the drive that contained his 7,500 Bitcoin, worth $127 million today. Then, in 2013, he mistakenly put that drive in the bin, and it was taken out with the trash. As late as 2017, Howells was still lobbying his city to allow him to search the landfill for his lost Bitcoin. Unfortunately, the drive is by now certainly buried under 6 years of waste, and according to the city, undertaking a search would cause a huge environmental impact on the surrounding area. 7. Challenger explosion. Cost $5.5 billion. On January 28, 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger was scheduled to take off. It was supposed to be the Challenger's last flight, and the mission included scientific objectives and satellite deployments. Unfortunately, unpredicted temperatures caused a tragic malfunction. Frosty temperatures the night before the launch caused rubber parts in the rocket boosters to freeze. The frozen parts didn't seal the way they were supposed to, and the Challenger exploded, killing the 7 astronauts on board. The space shuttle had never been tested at temperatures that cold, and sadly this oversight led to 7 lives and billions of dollars being lost. 6. Sinking of Prestige. Cost $6.9 billion. Despite its illustrious name, by 2000 the Prestige was a rundown oil tanker with 26 years of transport work under its enormous belt. While carrying 77,000 metric tons of oil, the Prestige got caught in a storm off the coast of Spain. The ship took on water, causing engines to shut down. As the ship leaked oil into the ocean, the crew was evacuated. After several days of debate and delay, the ship was finally brought into harbor in Spain. The ecological damage, cleanups, and legal fees cost $6.9 billion. If the ship had been better maintained, it likely would have withstood the storm, and the oil spill never would have happened. 5. Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster. Cost $12 billion. Fukushima Daiichi was a nuclear power plant on the coast of Japan that unfortunately gained worldwide notoriety in March of 2011. An earthquake caused the reactors at the plant to shut down, but it also caused a tsunami. The tsunami shut down the plant's backup generator, preventing the necessary cooling process from taking place. Following this unfortunate chain of events, 3 nuclear reactors melted down, and hydrogen explosions released dangerous radiation into the air. A 2012 investigation found that all of these events were totally preventable. Hiring a moving company in California that offers free shrink wrap and pads and leaves nothing to chance is a great investment. Unfortunately, guidelines for the plant's necessary maintenance had been ignored and disaster struck at Fukushima. 4. Columbia disintegrated on reentry. Cost $13 billion. The Space Shuttle Columbia crash of 2003 will sadly go down in history as another spacecraft accident that should never have happened. The shuttle was torn apart upon re-entering the Earth's atmosphere because of a piece of foam that fell from the shuttle's external tank, breaching its wing. All 7 astronauts on board Columbia were killed. When Columbia took off 16 days prior, a similar issue with falling foam had taken place, but nothing was done to correct the problem. This tragic incident led to the whole NASA Space Shuttle fleet being retired in 2011, and NASA bore tremendous public scrutiny for not taking precautions to secure the foam on the shuttle's tank. 3. Deepwater Horizon oil spill. Cost $61 billion. The Deepwater Horizon oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico is considered the worst oil spill in history. 210 million gallons of oil were spilled following an explosion on the drilling rig. Oil threatened marine and wildlife habitats from Louisiana to Florida, and the spill continued for months as workers attempted, time and again, to stop the flow of oil. Ultimately, an investigation revealed that BP, the British company responsible for the Deepwater Horizon rigger, had cut corners on safety with disastrous effects. Cutting corners turned out to be very costly for BP. Cleaning up after the disaster and paying associated fines and legal fees has stuck the company with a $61 billion bill. 2. AOL buys Time Warner. Cost $146 billion. In the year 2000, the dot-com bubble was at its height. AOL was regarded as the hottest tech company in the world, and the Time Warner deal was hyped to the max. AOL paid $182 billion to buy Time Warner, adding Time Warner cable packages to their then popular home internet offerings. Just a few months later, the dot-com bubble burst, causing AOL's value to decline rapidly. In 2009, Time Warner struck out on their own with a valuation of $36 billion. Newly single, AOL's value had dropped to just $2.5 billion. In 2000, AOL thought their reign as the leading home internet service would never end, yet just a few short years proved them very, very wrong. 1. Chernobyl Disaster. Cost $590 billion. The Chernobyl disaster is the worst, most deadly nuclear accident of all time. The worst part is, it occurred due to some totally preventable mistakes. On April 25, 1986, a drill simulating a power outage at Chernobyl led to uncontrolled reactions and a steam fire that burned for 9 days. 134 workers were hospitalized due to radiation exposure and 31 of them died in the following few weeks. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and hit the notification to keep up to date from our future amazing luxury videos.